In this demonstration, we're going to show how to use the Distance Azimuth tool in the sketch tool found in the editor toolbar to add data to some new shapefiles that were created earlier. The shapefiles we're going to be working with are moose line and moose point, and this demonstration is to simulate the display of data you might have collected for, say, your moose browse, your fecal pellet, and your grouse surveys that you might have done. And what we want to do is we want to create a line showing the survey line that was run, and the points are going to be plot centers along the line where you collected data. So to begin this, we're going to open editor and start editing, and it's going to ask us which folder we want to edit, and you can see that moose point and moose line are the one that's currently selected. If I was to select this one, we'll see there's other shapefiles I could edit. Again, you can only edit shapefiles, you can't edit original ArcInfo data with ArcView. So this is the one we want, so we're going to click OK, and we'll wait for editing to start. And now that editing is started, we're going to pick the target. We're going to begin with the moose line, so we're going to choose it. And you can see I've opened the attribute tables previously for moose line because that's what we're going to work with first. And prior to this session, I added the fields leg and length, and leg being the distance between one plot to the other, and the length being the total length of that leg. Now I'm initially going to show you how you could enter the line data as one long line, but then I'm going to remove that and show you how to enter each segment separately as a separate line. And that way we'll be able to have the lengths, and we'll have each leg recorded in the attribute table. So to begin with, you click the sketch tool here, come down to the map, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to right mouse click anywhere, and then I'm going to go to absolute X and Y, and here I'm going to enter the easting and northing of my start point. And for my easting, I'm going to enter 427650. Then I'm going to hit tab and go enter my northing of 6058320, and now I'm going to hit enter. And you're going to see that the point that I had created now points is anchored on that start point, and I have a line that's kind of floating off of it right now. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to right mouse click and go to the contacts menu, and this time I'm going to choose azimuth distance, and in here I'm going to enter a bearing of 90 degrees, say that was the bearing that I ran my survey at, and then I'm going to hit tab and go enter the distance. Let's say it was 80 meters between plots, and then I'm going to hit enter, and you can now see that that segment of my line has been created. Now again, I'm initially going to show you how to enter it as one long line. So I come down to my map again, and I'm going to right mouse click again and choose azimuth distance again, and then type in my 90 degrees for the bearing, and then tab over and enter the distance. We'll say that all plots were 80 meters apart, so I enter 80 again and hit enter, and it creates another segment for me. Now we can keep on adding segments for as long as we had to till we got all our plots done, and then what we can do is come down here again and right mouse click, and this time choose to finish the sketch. and wait for it to finish. And you'll see that I'll have one line created with a number of segments. And if you look at my attribute table, I only have the one polyline that was created. So, and you can see right here that is one line. It has a number of different, it has 3 points along it, or 3 vertexes, but it's all one line. And it has the vertex in the center here is that end of that first segment I entered. So I'm going to undo this, and we'll just click the undo button. And hopefully it should undo that line. And this time we're going to enter each segment, each distance, each length of line between two plots as a separate segment, and a separate, not a separate segment, but a separate line in the shapefile. So we're going to begin the same way. I'm going to right mouse click, then I'm going to go to absolute X and Y, and I'm going to type in my start point again, 427650, tab over, enter the northing 605 8320, and hit enter. And now I'm anchored on that point again. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to right mouse click, go to my azimuth distance, enter my azimuth of 90 degrees again, tab over, enter my distance of 80 meters, and hit enter. Now you can see that segment is created just like before, but what I'm going to do this time, I'm going to right mouse click and choose to finish sketch. And it'll finish the sketch, and the sketch will be that first segment between the first two plots. And I'm going to go in here in my table, and for the leg I'm going to enter the value of 1, and I'm not going to enter the length. I'm going to just leave that as is, and later on we should be able to calculate them using methods we previously did in a previous demo, and calculate them all to be 80. So we'll save ourselves a bit of time just by entering the leg numbers. And I'll hit enter. And then we'll go back down to our map. And this time I'm going to go to on the editor toolbar, and I'm going to go to snapping. And what it is a snapping environment that we use when we're using the editing tools here. And I've already selected it, but what you want to come in and do is ask force the tool to, when editing the moose line theme, to snap in on the vertexes. You could even choose end here as well, but we're going to choose vertex, and in a minute I'll demonstrate what that does for us. So I'm just going to close this window now, and then we're going to come down here, and where has my line gone? Let's just pause editing, the recording of this for a minute. Okay, what was paused, I refreshed the window, my line came back. It's currently blue because it's currently the selected one. Later on the line will show up as being purple. So what we're going to do is, remember I turned on that snapping, and you'll see that as I get close to the vertexes that were created with that earlier line, it snaps right onto the endpoint. And if I go to here, it'll snap as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the snap there, then I'm going to click on there, then I'm going to drag off to the side and right mouse click, go back to azimuth distance again, enter my bearing of 90 degrees, tab over and enter the distance of 80 meters and hit enter. And then I'm going to right mouse click again and ask it to finish the sketch. and I can come up in here. As soon as the computer catches up, and add the leg of 2. Okay, so we'll come in here and we'll enter 2, call that leg 2, hit enter, and then we'll come back down and we'll snap on to the end again. There we go. And we'll right mouse click and go to azimuth distance again. Type in 90 degrees, tab over 80 meters, hit enter, and then we'll right mouse click and finish the sketch again. And now we'll enter 3 for the leg name, hit enter. And I'm going to stop there. I mean, you'll probably have more plots than legs than this, but this gives you an idea what you need to do. So that's what you do for the line layer. Now we're going to go in and deal with the individual plot centers in the moose point. So I'm going to close this table right now, or we'll just minimize it. And then I'm going to come over here and open the table for moose point. And we'll see currently there's nothing there, and previously I went and entered the field plot. Now we're going to pick our target, and our target is moose point. And if you remember previously, we had set the snapping environment to snap on all the vertexes. And as soon as the computer catches up here, you'll see that we can still snap on them. So I'm going to click once and snap on there, and it gives us our first plot. And I'm going to come over as soon as it catches up here. I'll come and snap on the second one. Maybe before I do that, I'll enter the plot number, so we'll call that plot 1. And we'll hit enter. We'll come down here and snap onto our next vertex or in the segment. Click and come in here and enter our next plot number, which will be 2. Hit enter, and then we'll come and snap on the end of that one as soon as the computer catches up. There we go. Click on it, and we'll enter our plot number here, 3. Hit enter, then we'll come down here to enter our last plot on the end here. As soon as the computer catches up to us, that is. Alright, here we go. And there's our last plot. And we'll just have to scroll down here. And there it is, and we'll type in plot 4. Now you could have other fields here. You can add other fields later on and add other data that you want to. Hit enter. And now we'll just stop editing and everything's done. That's all there is to it. Have fun.